This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I want to share this article with you from Time Magazine and show you some of the things that are going on, and all of a sudden how we have pretty much flipped their plans upside down, and they've had to divert and create this new agenda. Notice how they don't talk about certain topics in the news anymore. You don't hear about anything going on in the Middle East. The main topic and the main threat has become you. It's become me. People who question the narrative and think differently and don't accept the nonsense that they keep giving us. We dig deep. We see when these events go live how ridiculous everything is put together. It's like watching a D-level horror movie a lot of the times. Thus, they can't deal with it anymore because so many people are waking up and they've turned their whole plan of everything that they're trying to do into turning it onto us and trying to silence us and take away free speech. So, this article by Time Magazine, it's called Conspiracy Theories Can Have Dangerous Consequences. Here's why experts say we can no longer ignore them. Okay, because they don't want anyone talking about this stuff. This is what they're going to continue to do. They're going to hammer out this exact narrative over and over and over again in the mainstream. They're going to do this for specific reasons, because they need to convince all of the sheep out there, the zombies, who are walking around aimlessly, who don't have their own individual thoughts. They need to continue to convince them that we are threats, that we're no longer just crazy tinfoil hat wearers to laugh at, that our actions as far as how we feel and what we say is a dangerous threat because it triggers people into doing things. That's how ridiculous this is. Conspiracy theories, both powerful and enduring, can wreak havoc on society. In recent years, fringe ideas prompted a gunman to storm a Washington, D.C. pizzeria and may have motivated another to fatally shoot 11 worshippers inside a synagogue. They're also largely to blame for a worldwide surge in measles cases. So me and you are responsible for the measles as well. Couldn't be, oh my goodness. Also, we're largely to blame for a worldwide surge of measles cases that has sickened more people in the U.S. in the first half of 2019 than any full year since 1994. Now the FBI says conspiracy theories very likely inspire domestic terrorists to commit criminal and sometimes violent acts, and are very likely will emerge, spread, and evolve on internet platforms, according to the intelligence bulletin obtained by Yahoo News, the May 30th document from the FBI's Phoenix field office, the first of its kind to examine the threat of conspiracy-driven extremists, also says the 2020 presidential election will likely fuel conspiracy theories, potentially motivating domestic extremists who subscribe to them. So we're going to hear more and more stories, and I mean, the whole thing that went on with Epstein, obviously, you get everybody out there questioning, even people who don't believe conspiracies, questioning the story that comes out of it, because it doesn't seem like it's physically possible. How can it be possible if you're already on watch? Right? So conspiracy theory, the term has just become so normalized now that they're starting to bait people even into this. They're starting to bait people to have difference of opinion. And the stories that have come out since after that are all about Trump conspiracies, why we should worry about the election. This is all bait. They're baiting people into this. The elections are not real. They are selections. These people are selected. They are hand chosen. This is not a republic. People need to start getting that through their heads. It's increasingly becoming clear that lots and lots of people believe in them, and they have negative outcomes, says Varun Swamy, a social psychology professor at Angela Ruskin University in the UK, who has published several studies on conspiracy theories. Millions of people all over the world, including by one estimate half of the U.S. population, believe in conspiracy theories. I mean, how do you even define that? You know? And that's the thing. They lump everything together. So when we're talking about SRA, this is the stuff that they're so afraid of is the satanic ritual abuse stuff coming out. So the stuff that happened with Pizzagate primarily is the thing that they fear the most, because that event triggered them to act and do this stuff and start doing it. Because people really did connect the dots. People really did show, wow, these people are so bold that they're putting this out in public, the stuff that Ali Fontes was posting. Yes, the satanic ritual stuff cannot come out. They cannot allow that to come out, because that ends the whole game. Everybody rises up against all of these elites if they find that out, because nobody will sit back and allow this type of abuse and this type of insane behavior to live in our society. It's not the Sasquatch or the UFO in the Area 51. They're dumping all that stuff into one basket, and there's no way that half the population believes in legitimate conspiracy facts. Okay? Like the cabal and all these secret groups. They don't believe in that. But all of these people who even are the ones who attack me, they still believe like Area 51. They believe in aliens, so they consider it. Oh, well, that's a conspiracy. That's baited conspiracy. They're saying that the figure might even be higher now today than half the population of the U.S., which is a total joke, according to political scientists and psychologists. That's what they want people to believe. Just like they want people to believe that the majority of people in America are Christian, right? Now they want people to believe the majority of people are conspiracy theorists and they're dangerous. It's the same thing. It's just total mind control on the zombies. Oh, we have to do something about it. It says, but experts and now the FBI argue that an average person's exposure to them has certainly increased in large part because conspiracy theories are now more easily pushed on social media, which is obviously not true because none of us can even get our stuff out, and they're not conspiracy theories, they're conspiracy facts. But, most of you guys who tell me you put stuff on Facebook, Twitter, you share videos, you put your own posts up, you get banned off the platforms. You've seen what happens on my channel over and over again. I got banned, from uploading for a week, for 2 weeks, strike here, strike there, hate speech, even just reading articles. It says among the most prominent peddlers of misinformation on social media, experts say, is Donald Trump. And this is, again, to keep him linked to us. They want us all lumped in a basket as the alt-right, and we have to continue to prevent them from lumping us into this basket because they're creating, these events, and they want to bait people to come out and create crazy, notions about it so that they can censor stuff. So they can say, because everybody said this about Epstein, all of these people decided to go and do this to the Clintons. Thus, what comes, right? Problem, reaction, solution. What comes of it? Oh, now we have to completely ban these types of things because they're triggering people. Meanwhile, anything can trigger anyone. This most recently following Jeffrey Epstein's apparent suicide in federal jail. I love how they write apparent. I mean, even they're pretty much saying it's, Anyway, Trump retweeted a theory that suggested the death of the well-connected financier who was charged with sex trafficking of minors and conspiracy with suspicious and somehow linked to former President Bill Clinton. When asked by reporters Tuesday whether he thinks the conspiracy theory he promoted is true, Trump said he has no idea, but added that Clinton was a very good friend of Epstein, who has been on Epstein's private plane and perhaps to Epstein's private Caribbean island, which locals reportedly dubbed Pedophile Island. Clinton's spokesman, Angel Arena, called the claim ridiculous and, of course, not true. Now, one of the reasons that one of the things you can look at and say, okay, they're baiting people, is that they released this picture of Bill Clinton's face on Hillary Clinton's body or Bill Clinton's face on a woman's body, and they're saying that they found this in Epstein's home. Okay, why would they release that? What else did they find in his home then? I want to see every single thing inside of his home. Inside of every closet. Let's go through it with a camera, video camera, and show us. Show us what's on his hard drives, even though we don't want to really see it. But it said this is what comes out, right? Oh, this was in his home. And who are they baiting? They're baiting people on the alt-right. They're going, look, he has this picture. Oh, what is this suggesting? That Bill is really Hillary? That so-and-so's a trans? That they really are close friends because he's got the picture, even though Clinton denies it, right? And this is what they're doing. They're baiting people into this nonsense. And they're going to cause something out of this. It hasn't happened yet, but they are. Because that's why these things happen. Otherwise, they would have just flown Epstein off to over to Bagelville long before they even needed to pretend that he was going to be convicted of anything. I mean, it's pretty clear that nothing happened to the guy. It wasn't physically possible for him to do that to himself under that type of surveillance that he was under. Then the article goes on to talk about 2016, a gunman barged into the Washington, D.C. pizzeria. He had falsely believed children were trapped in a sex ring led by Hillary Clinton, a fringe idea propagated by an anonymous user known as Q. And, Q was not behind, it was independent researchers here on the internet who were really behind it, who were just looking at the weird stuff in the WikiLeaks, whether they believed the WikiLeaks were true or not, and then looking at the signs and the symbols and the stuff going on there, and then Ali Fontes' Instagram post, and then the fact that Ali Fontes was in the White House with kids playing ping pong with Obama at midnight. I mean, just weird stuff. That's weird behavior. Stuff that people should look at because they should go, this isn't normal behavior, right? But they link it to Q, right? And Q has gone viral. He's gone mainstream. And there's still people that think that this is a real movement with Q. They don't realize that there's nobody in the White House leaking information, okay? Maybe sleeping with the fishes if there were. It goes on to say, people including actress Roseanne Barr believe and acknowledge Q, and I mean, of course they're pumping it, they're bringing light to Q. Q's not even, there's YouTubers with more popularity than any of these people that constantly get talked about. Cernovich in the mainstream and stuff. This channel's more popular. I mean, was becoming one of the most popular channels on YouTube as far as these topics go. They've shut all of our voices down because they want people to continue to go with these narratives, the Q narrative, the alt-right narrative, the left versus right paradigm. They want to keep everyone trapped in it. So they go on to say the problem with condemning conspiracy theorists is that it plays into the conspiracy theorist's mind. That's what they're trying to say. So in other words, they're trying to say people like me, we think we're right, right? Because they're trying to stop conspiracy, so it's playing into us being more right, and we want to keep, that kind of stuff. It says critics argue about YouTube's obscure recommendation algorithm system, which chooses and automatically plays the user's next video, often leads the viewers down rabbit holes, pushing them toward questionable content they might not discover on their own. It used to be a lot harder for things to go viral, they say. Nothing's going viral for any of us anymore. We can't even get new subscribers over here unless, you guys share our videos. And you can go look for the statistics yourself. Stats don't lie. And it goes on to talk about how YouTube is continuing to try to ban it and how other social media outlets are trying to and need to, because if they don't, this is going to lead to more things like Comment Ping Pong and Edgar Madison Welch. So I covered this before I got the strike on the channel, but they are turning us, and the FBI's even admitted it, they're turning us into the terrorists, telling people that's what we are. But we're just people who have questioned the narrative, right? I mean, I've shown you the local news report. Every single thing, it's the same word, the same bullet points. They all talk about the same stuff. There's nothing independent. There's no independent thought. There is no alternative media, right? The alt-right isn't alternative. It's control. And people are like, well, this is just dangerous because you're saying that these events aren't real. Well, why are all these connections there? Why are there literally laughing parents at some of these events? I mean, these are the types of things that people need to wake up and see and look for themselves instead of being afraid to do it because they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Screw that. We want the truth. We want to know what the truth is. Jesus Christ is the only truth in this world. We know that much because we've been fed nothing but lies. I hope you guys will check out the website, callfornuprising.com, $2.99 a month. It's worth it to come over there, interact, forum. It's a safe place. You can talk about stuff. You can post stuff that you want to post and talk about with other people, including myself. So I hope you guys will check it out. I thank you for being here. Appreciate your loyalty and support. I want to thank the patrons as well. You guys are the backbone of YouTube for me and for other content creators out there. So thank you for continuing to support channels like this. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do it on here. Don't have the time. Thanks again. I love all you guys. Appreciate your support. We are breaking walls down little by little, and they are scared to death. So they're doing a little pushback, but we can't be afraid. We're here to stay. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your family.